Life definitely comes in seasons, and having quite a bit of, let's say, interesting seasons lately myself, I have decided this is going to be my glow up season and becoming the best version of me. I have lately seen quite a bit of content on becoming your best version, and obviously, this is something I'm such a big advocate of. However, all of the content I'm seeing of becoming her, becoming your best self, becoming your best version is always from 20-something women. And while I definitely think it is amazing, women at such a young age are working on themselves, I'm like, oh, hello. Well, like, what about women my age? And this is actually why I have decided to do a whole glow up series, taking you along on my journey, challenging you becoming a part and participating on my glow up series, obviously for all women and people, but specifically for my women being 35 plus, in their 40s, in their 50s, because let me tell you, life is going to be so different once you hit that big 40. Hi and welcome. I'm Catherine Louise. I'm a business and mindset mentor and founder of the coaching method, the East Hampton Method, and I help women becoming their best selves, thriving and just living their happy and fulfilled life and career. So when I was setting my intentions and goals for 2024, one of the things I highly recommend to my clients and to you as well is channeling that best version of yourself, actually living that dream or desires or lifestyles or career or whatever of yours. And so obviously I was channeling my best self, living that version of my life that I'm striving for. And it became pretty much clear to me that in order to get there, I would need to change some things around, and that really it is time for a glow up. And with glow up, I'm not just talking about my skin, but really there are a few things I really want to implement into my life in order to be that best version of myself. Funnily enough, a few months ago, I did an episode on my podcast talking about a glow up. And to this day, where I'm filming this has been one of your most favorite episodes ever. So I'm assuming you're going to come along with me on this journey so we can do this glow up series together. So first things first, I want you to get a pen and paper or get your iPad and really write down what this glow up season for yourself is going to be about. Like, what is that best version of yourself like? What does she love to do? What are her habits? What are her skills? What does her day-to-day life look like? Another question which I found to be so tremendously important is like, that version of your best self, what does she or he do in order to accomplish her goals? And really listen closely and don't doubt a thing. Just listen and consume what is happening. So once we have figured this out, it is so time to set our non-negotiables for our very own glow up season. So now that we know what our best version is like, what she loves to do, what are her habits, what are her routines, very important, I want you to write down those key points and make those your new non-negotiables. I would love to separate that between daily non-negotiables and weekly non-negotiables, because while there are things you really want to do on a daily basis, there might be things when it's just fine to do them on a weekly basis. And remember, you don't want to overwhelm yourself and still leave a little bit of room for flexibility. Now, if you're down and joining me on my glow up season, becoming your best version, make sure to subscribe so you're not going to miss out any new episode on our journey and challenge. So let's start with our daily non-negotiables. And for me, this is not just about implementing a few new things, but really also picking up a few things that I have left along the way. My first non-negotiable on a daily basis would be journaling. And if you know me, you know I'm such a huge fan and really advocate of journaling, as in I design personalized journals for my clients because seeing the results they experience based upon my journals, that's insane, y'all. Like really, this is insane. And also, I have experienced for myself what a huge transformation really journaling can do. But lately, since it has gotten quite stressful in my life, I figured I would only do journaling in the morning or at night. But I actually would love and prefer to do in the mornings and at night. So I've now really come up with a strategy on the journaling I want to do in the morning and then again at night to really be able to reflect on the important things and have my journaling at night for best results. My second non-negotiable, and I just really will need that in order to just function, period, is getting to bed by 10. Now, we've had a winter break for 3 weeks, and it's safe to say everybody in my family has gotten off our schedule, which is fine. I'm not mad about that because this is to be expected, especially for the kids. However, now we're back in school season, and I need to get up at 6 a.m. and not just get up and somewhat survive the day, but I actually want to get things done. I want to go to the gym in the morning and then go to the basketball court with my kids later in the afternoon, right? And in order to somewhat not just survive but also enjoy that, I will need to make sure I get somewhat of sleep in. Like, I'm not sure how about you, but do you remember those days in your 20s when you were oh my God, those memories keep popping back up. Like when you were able to hit the club until somewhere in the AM and then actually were still able to go to work the next day. No, that's a wrap. We're done with this. This is not happening. Like I really do need to have 7 to 8 hours sleep at least to able to live a life, to be quite honest. And probably I could sleep more. I have no doubt about this, but that just wouldn't be realistic for me. So what I'm trying to aim at now is really start winding down, start my night routine by latest 10 p.m. and then make sure I can actually fall asleep somewhat, hopefully around 11. I need at least those 7 hours of sleep. My non-negotiable number 3 is something I have definitely been neglecting in my 20s. And now I want you to remember when I was in my 20s, because that was like the first decade of the 2000s. And there was nothing like this huge wellness industry as it is today. There were no YouTube videos having skincare all day. And to be quite honest, I was horrible with removing my makeup at night and stuff. I do admit that. However, I will also say that in the last couple of years, I really did enjoy trying different skincare products and really figuring out what is working for myself. And I also will happily admit that when I actually stick to a skincare routine in the morning and at night, my skin feels so much better. And I will then also definitely feel so much more comfortable in my body. Like if I'm missing my skincare routine in the morning or at night or even both for a couple of days, I'm just not feeling like myself. So really making sure I get that down in the morning and at night will have to be one of my non-negotiables on a daily basis. Okay, number 4 might sound familiar to you. I'm not sure how about you. Please feel free to put it in the comments. But drinking water, that's a challenge for me. I'm very good in drinking coffee every single day, a couple of times. Coffee is at this point running through my veins like I'm a Gilmore Girl or something. But to be honest, I've always been struggling with drinking enough water, which is not good. And I have so been trying to work on this forever. I've been getting all of the different water bottles and, where there are like timestamps on, like, you almost made it 12 p.m. It's just not working for me, because then also those water bottles, like, it takes so much effort to clean them up, and doing this every single night, I'm just like, you know what? No. I was just too tired of it, to be quite honest. But now I got myself this baby, which is obviously a Stanley cup, and I know this is so hyped. This is not sponsored by any means. I wish there would. Stanley, if you hear this, give me a call. But I'm so happy to admit that this is actually a game changer. First of all, the size is perfect, because then I will not need to refill it like a trillion times a day. It just makes it so much more easy to actually drink that water. And then, which is most important to me, it is so easy to clean the thing up, even with a straw. Let's be very frank, okay? I can get one done easily, especially if I'm at the gym, like when I'm in the gym in the morning. I definitely can also get like 2 in. That's like what I would really love to be like a common thing on a daily basis. So I will say the Stanley Cup, it's got my heart. It's been a game changer. I'm going to stick to it. It's been worth every single cent for me and my body. And I also do feel such a big difference. Talking about my weekly non-negotiables, and as I said before, don't overwhelm yourself and really try to make sure to leave room for flexibility. So if you're not sure if you can get something done on a daily basis, maybe start moving it towards the weekly non-negotiables. And once you figure that has been actually working quite well for you, you want to move it towards the daily non-negotiables. So my number one weekly non-negotiables is something I truly, truly love, and I have fallen off track. And it has not been good for myself on very many different levels, is going to the gym. So I actually was in somewhat of a good routine, and I felt pretty good going to the gym. But then life got hectic around November. And I think my mistake back then was that I used to have 2 set days of the week where I would go to the gym. And while that has been working for me in a quite normal kind of busyness, it definitely hasn't been working anymore in November and December. And that has been causing even more stress for myself on those 2 set days, if that makes sense. So what I'm doing now is that my weekly non-negotiable would have to be hitting the gym 2, or if I can manage it without like overwhelming myself, even 3 times a week. And I've been loving it. Another thing that I will say, if you have been in a gym routine before and you've fallen off track like me, and now you're trying to get back in, like, girl, do not try to complete a full workout. It's not going to happen. It's not going to work. Going back to the gym, I figured on the treadmill, oh, this needs some work. Like, this is not happening. And I was actually very happy to be gentle to myself and not overwhelming myself, but really like literally feeling into myself and figuring like, okay, like 20 minutes on a treadmill is good. And then stretching feels really, really good. And doing one more thing. And that's it for the first day. And you know what has been so smart about it? And this is why I highly recommend it to you, even if you're starting out. Like, it is good to have a trainer coming up with a workout, but don't overwhelm yourself. Like, stop when you know you are exhausted, because if your muscles are like so sore, you're not going to go back to the gym for the next couple of days just simply because you won't be able to. So actually taking it slow allowed me to go back in the next day, and that felt so, so good. My second weekly non-negotiable is something that I have been missing so much. And if you watched my videos on the books that have changed my life, you know about my struggle. And if you, by the way, haven't watched the video yet, what are you even doing? Make sure to go ahead and watch it after this video. I'm going to put up the link right there, because you know what? I've been such a big reader ever since I was a kid. And while I still do listen to so many audiobooks, and I love audiobooks. And by the way, if you want to get into audiobooks, I have a link for you down below for 1 month free Audible. Use it. You're going to love it so much. Anywho, what I was trying to say is listening to an audiobook is such a different experience to reading an actual book. And I really want to get back into this. So what I would love to do is just maybe like once or twice a week, actually read just a couple of pages of a real book and really make that a weekly thing. Purposely, I'm making this a weekly non-negotiable, not a daily one, because I know and I'm aware of the fact that at this point with, my life and how it's going and working, I wouldn't be able to do this on a daily basis, probably not even 4 times a week. That would disencourage me on such a big level. I would probably fall off my entire glow up series. So be aware of what is manageable for yourself. And as I said, if I can maybe get it done, reading a couple of pages once or twice, maybe on the weekend, I would just be so happy. So I really want to make this a weekly non-negotiable. I would actually love to know, and if you would be willing to share with me, it would mean the world to me. What are your non-negotiables? Please feel free to share it down below or send me a text over on Instagram. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to stick around for episode number 2 of our Becoming Her series, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.